help you make sense of West Africa's investment world. This podcast is brought to you by Daba, your most comprehensive platform for investing in African stocks, bonds, and managed funds. You can download the Daba app on your favorite Google and Apple app stores. Let's start the day with good news. Even though the market opened the week with a slight dip, several standout stocks lit up the BRVM. Yes, Monday, July 28th was marked by strong performances and promising signals for long-term investors. Let's kick off with the most dynamic stocks of the day. And hang on. Some of these names have delivered astonishing gains. Leading the charge, Unilever Côte d'Ivoire. The stock jumped by 7.49%, closing at 39,465 francs CFA. That's the biggest gain of the session. Unilever continues to attract investors with an incredible year-to-date rise of over 509%. A textbook example of consistent growth in the consumer staples sector, but this time driven by optimism over an acquisition involving SDTM, a subsidiary of Ivorian conglomerate Carré d'Or. Next up, Tractafric Motors, Côte d'Ivoire. The stock climbed 7.40%, finishing at 2,785 francs CFA. The move signals renewed interest in the automotive and logistics sectors, which are seeing a boost from regional economic recovery. We also saw a solid rebound for Oragroup Togo. The bank stock rose 5.83%, reaching 1,725 francs CFA. This could mark a turning point after weeks of sluggish performance in Togo's banking sector. Also worth noting, BRVM Côte d'Ivoire climbed 4.71% to close at 1,335 francs CFA. The building materials supplier continues to show resilience amid a pickup in regional infrastructure projects. And finally, SOGB Côte d'Ivoire, an agro-industrial company, saw a gain of 1.80%, closing at 7,340 francs CFA. This move reflects the steady performance of the agriculture sector, often seen as a safe haven in uncertain times. That's it for the day's top gainers, but where there are risers, there are also fallers. The biggest drop came from Bank of Africa Niger, which fell 5.05%, closing at 2,245 francs CFA, a sharp decline likely tied to profit-taking or portfolio rebalancing. Sonatel Senegal, a telecom giant, dropped 3.81% to close at 25,000 francs CFA. The market appears to be reacting to lower trade volumes, though the dividend yield remains steady. At this level, long-term investors may begin to see value. Other notable losers include Filtasac Côte d'Ivoire, down 3.50% at 4,690 francs CFA, Bank of Africa Benin, which lost 2.44% to end at 4,190 francs CFA, and Setao Côte d'Ivoire, which declined 1.71% to 575 francs CFA. Now, let's turn to the indexes. The BRVM Composite Index closed at 309.73 points, down 0.54% for the session. Still, it remains up more than 12% year-to-date, a healthy position. The BRVM Prestige Index also dipped by 0.70%, ending at 130.05 points, but it has gained more than 13% this year. The BRVM 30, which tracks the most liquid stocks, fell 0.93% to 151.37 points. On the brighter side, the Principal Compartment Index rose 0.46%, thanks to strength in large caps like Unilever, BRVM, and Oragroup. Let's now dive into the sector analysis. The consumer staples sector surged by 1.41%, with a staggering annual gain of over 100%. This growth is driven by stable pricing and strong regional demand. The discretionary consumer sector rose 0.44% as households resumed spending on non-essentials, a positive sign for domestic recovery. The energy sector remained flat, with a marginal 0.06% gain. Meanwhile, the industrial sector corrected by 1.35%, although it's still up more than 34% this year. A brief pause, but nothing alarming. In telecoms, the sector fell 1.73%, weighed down by Sonatel's decline. That single stock dragged the whole segment down. The financial services sector was virtually unchanged, slipping just 0.09%, but remains up more than 20% on the year. Let's look now at the bond market. The trading volume dropped drastically. Only 2 bonds exchanged hands for a total value of 317,050 francs CFA. That's a drop of more than 99% compared to the previous session. A quiet session, likely explained by the calendar, with few upcoming maturities and no new issues this week. Still, several bonds offer attractive opportunities for long-term investors. For instance, Mali's 10-year bond with a 6.50% coupon is trading at par, 10,000 francs CFA, and matures in 2034, a good option for those seeking reliable yield. Another example, Senegal's 8-year bond maturing in 2033, also with a 6.50% coupon and trading at par, a favorite among institutional investors for its predictability. For more seasoned investors, private bonds such as Petro Ivoire's and Ecobank's gender bond offer yields above 6.50% and are trading around par. These are great tools for diversification and tax optimization strategies. In summary, despite the sluggish bond activity today, fundamentals remain strong, with stable yields and visibility on future payments. So, what are the key takeaways from this July 28 session? First, stocks in the consumer staples sector like Unilever continue to lead. Second, financials and industrials like Oragroup and Burnaby show strong recovery potential. And third, the bond market remains an attractive space for long-term yield-seeking investors. To dig deeper, understand sector trends, receive weekly stock recommendations, and reduce your investment fees, subscribe to Daba Pro. With Daba Pro, you don't just follow the markets, you stay ahead of them. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Daba MarketsTalk podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, follow us, and share with friends. Remember, this information is for educational purposes. Always do your own research or consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. And download the Daba app on your App Store to start investing in African stocks, bonds, and manage portfolios through your phone and find other helpful content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing your financial knowledge.